Hey everybody, wanted to give some pro tips today for flying helicopters around in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Been playing this quite a bit recently, and there's a number of things I've done and noticed about the game. Just generally the way the game works in terms of the physics of helicopters and more specifically how they drop, especially. But to start things off with, when you're pulling into an area that's potentially a hot zone, like a city or something, you tend to want to land near the outside, and landing in a safe place where you can get back to your helicopter is always a good idea. Like this dock, for example, just gently set it down, and you should be able to keep track of your helicopter. I mean, even if you see things kind of, well. So remember, now, let your helicopter just run free every now and then, because it tends to get a little cooped up, and it needs some of that freedom. But, honestly, you got to be careful when these helicopters come back to you, because these little buggers can be kind of feisty sometimes. So do watch out for that return flight.
Get away from it!
Okay, so on to tip number 2. Maybe you find yourself in an urban area where there's a lot of people around and there's a road, and we all know that the game doesn't really like to drop helicopters on roads very often, so try to step off to the side a little bit. Just get yourself out of the main road area before you try to drop your helicopter, and you'll have a much better chance of getting your helicopter set down in a place where you can very easily clear out a building with it. So yeah, you may need to kind of gently prod your helicopter onto the ground with maybe a grenade launcher. But if you're going to do that, I might suggest that maybe you back up a little, maybe a little more. Okay, if dropping a helicopter into the building didn't work, maybe you can drop it onto a road or near a road, or maybe on the beach, I guess, next to the dock. All right, so we got a helicopter drop, so let's go ahead and hop in the helicopter, and we'll get on to the next mission real quick here.
All right, let's roll.
Now, landing on these small islands can be kind of tricky every now and then, but it's important to keep your team safe when you... Oh, come on! Well, at least we'll be able to find it once we're done with the mission, right? Every now and then, you're going to find yourself parachuting into a hot zone, and this gets especially tricky if you just need a quick extraction. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to call a helicopter in on a rooftop. The game just basically won't allow the rebels to drop a helo in. So you might have to look around and see if you can find a better location. I mean, all you got to do really is just find a safe way to just find a stairs. A safe way to just jump off the roof and hope you survive. But once you're down on the ground, in a relatively flat area, then you can call in your helicopter safe.
Hang tight, I'm heading your way.
God damn, that was close.
Now, of course, your helicopter does get dirty with all this flying around, So you may want to give it a little wash every now and then. But watch out for these pesky little guys. They do like to frolic in the water now and then, but they're just not terribly good swimmers, unfortunately. So you have to be kind of careful where you give your helicopter a little bath. And of course, if you find yourself in a position where you're waiting for a vehicle drop-off cooldown, but then unfortunately you can't call one in because you're blocked, well, try running to the other side of the building. It's often the case where you just make a simple little position change like this. You turn around and you'll be able to call in your helicopter no problem. So let's go ahead and get one called in. Perfect. Excellent. Now we can hop in our helicopter and continue on with the mission. Of course, there's not always a safe way to land your helicopter near a mission. Sometimes you just need to kind of charge in and get it landed quickly. This unfortunately can lead to a few problems, a little bit of damage with your helicopter, and potentially the helicopter getting in your way. So once again, just give it a little nudge, maybe with a frag grenade. Just kind of nudge it out of your way so that you can get on with the mission again.
We're clear. You all good? Frag out.
There we go. Just nudged out of the way so that we can continue on with the mission. No big deal though. The helicopter will be fine. We'll be able to pick that up again. It's nestled nicely in between the rocks where we can see it and easily get to it once the mission is done. Finally, for today's tips, if you're landing into a real hot zone like this prison area, sometimes you just can't get the helicopter down fast enough. So if you switch to the passenger seat, you'll find that the helicopter does this amazing little rotational landing for you. It's really quite effective for getting into a hot zone very quickly. And the best part is, it's just going to land itself at the bottom. Alright, so there you have it. Today's pro tips for Ghost Recon Wildlands. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming.